Hello again, this is Dorothy Smith, and pardon me, I've got some kind of cold or something, so hang in there with me. This is our catalog that just expired April 30th, and what I'm showing you is how I get it bound by, rebound I guess, by Staples Office Supply. And I do it just for ease of use, because I have several clubs and I'm in and out of my catalog so much that I put in these tabs to help me go through it. Now, if you're just a customer and you are going through your catalog, you don't really need to go to this extent, but somebody did ask me about how I organize my catalog, and I think this is what they meant. So anyway, I get these Avery inserts for, and they come with the 3 rings, so they can go into a regular loose leaf binder. But our catalogs come with regular self-binding, so they're glued together, and Staples cuts off the edge and then does all this for me. I just kind of put the separators in place. So I'm just kind of going through and showing you where I put my dividers, just to separate, and just for ease of use for me to find all the different sections, which I forgot to put one on Stamp of the Month, so I'll do that this time. So that's the old catalog, and this is the new catalog, and this is active as of May 1st, and this has got to be one of the best catalogs that we've had. The papers are really beautiful, and I'm just really excited about this catalog. So this is what the catalog looks like when I first get it, and so I go through, and the big pieces are the pieces of or the things that I want to buy, and yeah, it looks pricey, doesn't it? And then the little pink ones at the top are where I decided to put the separators. So I'm just kind of going through the catalog to just kind of say, okay, this I need to put one, and you know what, I missed putting one on subscriptions. So I'll have to make a little tab or something to kind of highlight that. But anyway, I get, just so you know, I buy the subscriptions for the entire year. And if you do that, then you get shipping for free. So you get two-page layouts for each month. And the papers go along with the month. Excuse me. And they also go along with the papers of that particular catalog time. So if you want to put them with, in this case, that Sweet Girl right there, then you've got papers to kind of add to the more complicated layouts that you do. The cut above subscription layouts are the ones that I've shown you before, where I can do the 4 pages within 30 minutes. So they're just like super easy for those of you who are running short of time and just don't have the time to put into the more complicated scrapbook pages. So I'm just kind of going through and showing you the different new papers that are coming along. So this is True Love, and I think I'll kind of fast forward through this so that you can see it after I get the catalog done, so you can see how the new catalog looked. But that is the lacy border thin cut new one that we just got. Okay, here's my newly rebinded catalog. And so I've got the spiral, I've got the clear covers on the front and back, and as you can see, I've got a whole bunch of tabs. I've actually got like 19 tabs in there. And I went ahead and used Word to make the labels with the Avery label maker. And on the back of every catalog is an Operation Smile stamp, and the reason why we call it that, it's an exclusive stamp for Operation Smile, and the company gives, close to my heart, gives $7 of every stamp we sell to Operation Smile, which is a great organization that goes into Central America and fixes sweet little baby faces that are born with cleft palates. So it's a great cause and always a great stamp. So my first tab is Hostess Rewards, and you know, the little square there shows you a party and how much, if you sell $150 in your party, you get $25 of free goodies from Close to My Heart. And then if you have bigger parties, then you can get 50% off some of those items, the organizational items, and also available to our hostesses or those exclusive stamps. Now here is our subscription for the year. I get the year's worth, and if you get the year's worth, then it's free shipping. Okay, the new book this year is Storyteller, which is stories by Stacy Julian, and she can tell you how to put a short story together in a smaller album for an event, which is really, really good, and I love it. I did one for the New York City trip with my husband and son. So here's our first paper, the Sweet Girl paper. First time we've had borders going around the edges of some of our papers, which is really gorgeous. So you always are going to see the Workshops Your Way first, and then the card kit is next, and the Workshop Deluxe. And then behind that are stamps that go with that particular paper. The next paper is True Love. Perfect for weddings. And I mean, you could use it for proms, you could use it for engagement announcements, but beautiful colors, you know, just perfect for lots of pretty wedding type stuff goes with this. And there's the Workshops Your Way with the 3 different layouts that are given to you in our guide. And then there's the card kit, which also has a guide on how to do it, and the True Love Deluxe Scrapbooking Workshop, which always has more options with a little bit more complicated pages. And then of course the stamps behind that particular paper goes with that particular paper. Into the Wild is perfect for taking trips, going camping, Boy Scout, Cub Scout stuff, hiking. I mean, just great boy paper, which, you know, I have a boy, so that's, you know, great for those of us that have boys. And then you've got cards that are perfect for boys. And then, of course, the Deluxe after that. We have a lot more thin cuts this time around. This is our craft on paper, which is just made for you and me, ladies. You know, bright and cheery. I don't exactly sound bright and cheery right now, but great for doing crafting things or anything summery. So there's the card kit and the Deluxe, and these great stamps to go with it. Our mix-ins are exceptionally beautiful, this catalog. They are the best ever. And here's all the information about the story by Stacy Julian. So she has 4 different kinds. She has Storyteller and Stories I Love, a short story, and then Story Starter. And those are different size albums. And she runs through exactly how to make these stories so it's not so painful for you. I mean, she gives you little prompts on things to think about, and they have stamps to go with it. They've got stickers to go with these different kits. They've got papers to cut up to go with it. She tells you exactly how to do a layout so it's balanced with color and pictures. and sayings. It just makes it so easy. And these are little like great grandma books to give pictures and a little blurb of what's going on with you or your family, to give to the grandparents or somebody you love, an aunt or uncle or whatever. And then my next section is the acrylic stamp set. And anytime you see kind of that bluish greenish blobs on the page, that is the thin cuts that you can purchase to go with those stamps. So it's taking fussy cutting out of the realm here. I mean, it's making it so much easier, so you don't have to do the fussy cutting. So if you have tired hands or running out of time or you're arthritic, God, these thin cuts are the way to go. But also if you just want to, decrease the amount of time you spend cutting. And we've got the Rainbow Bridge, which is just, for those of you who have furry children, we all go through these painful moments when we, lose our dog or cat, and this is just perfect for that. When you see a red line going around the stamp, that means one of our Cricut cartridges has those cuts, so it will always tell you which cartridge it goes with. So there's another teacup. How cute is that, to make cards, or you could do all sorts of stuff with that teacup. And then we have some of our less expensive stamps that are like single stamps, like the happy anniversary and birthday is very inexpensive, and so is that single heart. And couldn't you make that beautiful coloring that? And the Love You stamp is one of our layered stamps, and more companies are getting into the layered stamp, and so we did too. And so those are very cool. Now, I haven't done that yet, but I guess I will be playing with that at some point. And whoops, there's the Smiths. It's not me though. Look at this flower. I mean, how glorious is that? And look at those, if you had to cut that out with fussy cutting, it would take you a long time. So here we go. Then we've got paper dowels. I wish I had that when I was a kid. I mean, where, my mother could make them at it. Anyway, going in the Wayback Machine here. Boys, girls, and your little athlete too. So perfect, right? And some more sports stuff with those little round stamps or M stamps. So those are only $3.95 to make for your sports pages. And then here's some more. Now that peacock is just gorgeous. But there's some more shells with thin cuts. Look at how pretty that is. Good grief. That's gorgeous. I might have to get that one. That's just too pretty. Anyway, always ways to spend money. So, and the love stamp there, that's an autism stamp. So, if you know someone that has somebody with autism, that puzzle piece. And here's some more summer stamps for beach and cruising with the thin cuts. Once again, taking the pain out of fussy cutting just by having the thin cuts. And also for camping, if you have a trailer or RV like we do, that's perfect for your trips with your trailer or RV. And this is a real pretty thin cut with a stamp of a water bucket with flowers in it. So more summer stuff with grilling and chilling. And my favorite are the blobs. I really like blobs. I don't know why. And here's our Cricut cartridges. And we have probably the best Cricut cartridges, I'm telling you. And what I started using is the USA stamp set, Cricut set that has the states in it. So I'm going to make an album with all the states, and then we can put our pictures there. And look, we've got stitched flowers. Those are brand new. The little puzzle heart and a lacy doily. And then there's that lacy border. And also, look at those scrapbooking thin cuts with scissors and tape and glue and Rulers. I mean, how cool is that for us? We can now put our weekend retreats and have all those wonderful thin cuts to put on our pages. Super, super cute. The border down at the bottom there is also a must-have. And then we've got, you know, the squares, the stitch squares and stitch rectangles, and the quilting spots. Perfect. And we've got some bundles. We haven't done this before. We do thin cut bundles with the hearts and circles and ovals. Those are stitched. And then the whole alphabet and numbers. You can make your own letters with any kind of paper to match your pages. And I've done that and I love it. So instead of doing stamping, you can make whatever kind of titles using those letters. We have 2 new embossing folders, the brick, which is such a, you know, popular pattern, and then of course our color palette, which I love. I always love our colors. And then my next section is special papers, the glitter and foils, and also embellishments with different embellishments and tools. And we have, you know, our watercolor pencils and paints, and of course our markers and our shimmer brushes, which our shimmer brushes are glorious. So that's part of our tools. And you know, there's our blocks, the acrylic blocks for our acrylic stamps. We don't carry the Fiskars little poker thing there because Fiskars did away with it. So unfortunately, we didn't find out early enough in the catalog making. And they don't have don't carry the thin glue pen, which that's really unfortunate. We're going to have to find another one. But that also was found out after the fact. And that we don't have any control over what other manufacturers do. Here's our albums and our memory protectors. So that's also one of my sections, is the memory protectors, because those are good for flip-flaps and half pages and full pages and picture my life protectors. So those are their own little section, just because they're a very important part of our scrapbooking life. And then I've got the organizational stuff is second to last section. So these are all of our organizational supplies. And then last but not least is our stamps of the month. And so really cute May stamp of the month with best friends and girlfriends. And anyway, so that's our catalog that starts from May and goes through August. And our catalog stuff is just, you buy it for this time and hopefully they don't run out of it. So it's kind of like catch it as you can, ladies. Thanks for watching. Everybody take care. Bye-bye.